my mind is too made up. Cause I live this fantasy, you know. And I'm never glad to see you go. Every night we play.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the live stream. I know I've been kind of hiding under a rock, kind of seems like, right? But I haven't been. For some of you who don't know, I moved over to Twitch. I kind of figured it was a bit more simpler. I was talking with a lot of my fellow streamers and a lot of my fellow friends who've been doing the exact same thing, and it was necessary, and it was probably the best move I could have ever made. So if you guys haven't been seeing me around, that's where I've been. If you're in my Discord, you're going to see a whole lot of streams in there, and that's where all my streams have pretty much been going to. So a couple of my streams that I've grabbed from Twitch, I've kind of uploaded to YouTube if you haven't seen them already. But I started this way prematurely. Anywho, that's where I've been. I've been doing a whole lot of Twitch streams. It's been a whole lot of fun. I've been meeting some fantastic people over there. And not that you guys aren't fantastic. You guys will always have that special place in my heart here. You guys can feel free to follow me. It's the exact same channel. It's Revelation Studios Gaming on Twitch. But that's where I've been. I've been doing a whole lot of, GTA streams there. I've done Madden. I've been doing Pokemon. I've been doing Dead by Daylight. I've been doing Phasmophobia. I've been doing a bunch of different streams where I've played multiple games for 6 to 8 consecutive hours. But that's pretty much where I've been. I've been doing a whole lot of that. So that's pretty much where I've been. And I've spelt Ben wrong, so basically I have to edit the name of my stream because it's all spelt wrong. There's 2 E's, not 2 N's. But that's pretty much what I've been doing. YouTube is kind of like, I know it's a slow takeoff. Yeah, I'm aware you guys still love me. But I appreciate each and every one of you. That's where I've been. I've been really happy with how things have been going with Twitch. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I've been growing at a very excessive rate. I have a whole lot of fun with people there, and there's so many different features and stuff that I can use and everything else. But on top of that, I wanted to save this platform from the next topic, which is the upcoming WWE 2K22. I've emphasized on this a couple times that 2K needed to take a step up from 2K20, 19, and 18. Let's stop and think about it. After 15, graphically, the game made improvements graphically. Mechanics-wise, it was garbage. You go to hit somebody, you take a swing, or if you're doing a running strike, you fall right to the ground and look like you just botched the entire thing. And if you're streaming that, well, that's a problem, right? It was the terms of making contact with the AI or making contact with your opponent if you're playing with somebody else. They had to repolish every bit of mechanics in the combat system. So they got the stunning new graphics. They have the broadcasting. It sounds way more like it's on TV. New mechanics, physics system. Everybody's been rescanned to where their faces don't look like cartoon characters or like they're molded out of modeling clay. So they've got it to where it's literally doing what it's supposed to be doing at an excessive rate. So they're making up for all of the. They're trying to make up for all of the garbage they've done these past couple of years with the game. It really mind boggles me that they have. Oops, why is that? Oh, never mind. It's going to do that by default. Ignore that. They're going to how do I put this? They got to clean it up. It was just utterly a catastrophe. They've added a whole, like, here you go with Rey Mysterio. Like, that looks like Rey Mysterio. It really does. And here comes the peak of the most anticipated innovations. That would be, Ricochet. Look at Goldberg. Emphasis on Goldberg's face right there. He's got, the salt and pepper beard. The sweat is coming off of his body. He actually looks like him, and he's not a piece of molded plastic. Sorry for that interruption. Somebody just tried to be rude to me on Discord. Anyway, they put so much detail into the actual model itself. And it's just everything. The sparks. The sparks look like sparks, for fuck's sake. They're probably going to find me for that one word, but I really don't care. Of course, makes my wife nosy to come up behind me. As soon as I say someone's rude to me, she has to walk up all like a freaking thug with her freaking bag belly hanging in my face. Like, who talking all that shit? But, I really don't know how the heck someone's telling me, like, how are you streaming Google Chrome? I'm like, I don't know. Ask Discord why it's being stupid. But moving forward, we'll start from the beginning, actually. They couldn't wait. So they were going to show us all the updates in January, but they just couldn't wait. I'm trying to fix this to where... But they obviously couldn't wait, right? Here's a sneak peek. There's Ricochet. We went from Goldberg. Redesigned gameplay engine. Now, you literally saw not him miss one time when Kofi was throwing strikes did he miss. Not one strike missed. The referee's even sweating over there. He's just like, damn. This gameplay be looking lit. Like, it straight up looks so much better. I'm having some issues with Discord saying I'm streaming or sharing Google Chrome, but I'm not, which leads me to believe it's broken. Somehow I broke it. Yeah, I don't even know where that's coming from, honestly. Get rid of that. There we go. But yeah, it's literally just swinging and the grapples, new controls. So there's the control layout. Run button is still the same. Pick up object still the same. Wake up taunt, crowd taunt, opponent taunt, all the same. Heavy attack, okay, is now the X button. It's not square. I don't ever recall the heavy attacks ever being the X button. I think the X button was something else. I'd have to look at 2K22 to even prove that fact. Hey, Rye, how's it going, buddy? Welcome to the live stream. Good to see ya. I'm glad we caught the culprit that's been trying to pretend they're someone they're not. But we all know who the real Rye Wilson is. I can't remember if the heavy attacks were the X button. I know square was a punch. I think A was the grapple button. And then circle was the Irish whip. And then triangle is reversal. And if you hold triangle, you can block now. So basically, if some dude went to go clothesline you, you can hold down triangle, run at the ropes, and hit him with a claymore kick to the face or something. The pin button is still isn't circle anymore. It's the down on the controller. Reposition your opponent, I guess, is to move the stick left, up, and right. And then change the target, still R3, so nothing really changes. It's probably going to be all the same layout for Xbox controller. And then you move on. There you go. It was a perfect block. Stunning graphics. Look at Edge's model. That's the first time he actually... No problem, Rye. Anytime, brother. Look at Edge. He actually looks like Edge. He doesn't look like a cartoon. Now, in past games, we've all seen what he looks like. He completely was They put him in front of the little rescanning screen software, and they completely rescanned him. Made him look exactly the way he's supposed to look. He doesn't look like, you know, this buff, smushed clay looking... It never looked right for me. It's just like, it baffled me on how you can get a Hall of Famer in a game and then make him look so freaking just, I don't even want to think about it. But that is a remarkable, tremendous change compared to 20, 19, 18, 17, and 16, where he just looked utterly it just looked bad. It was just like they were taking a younger version of him and putting it in the game, which they've done that with previous wrestlers in the past, but come on, if you're going to do that, make them look right. He doesn't look like a big four-headed cartoon. Exactly. That's what he looked like. A cartoon with a big forehead. It's exactly what he looked like for the past 4 years. And then Bayley doesn't look any different. I mean, it's Bayley, you know. When she turned heel, that was the end of it. Like, her career took a shit. We've been doing really good, right? We've been hanging out, you know. We've been doing our Twitch stuff, and Sarah's getting ready to start streaming soon. We're just getting set up for the holidays. We did a giveaway today on Twitch. Bradders and Chris won a game of their choice, so we're gonna be looking forward to doing that for them. We've been working hard. I'm trying to get some stuff together for YouTube so I can keep doing YouTube while I'm Twitch affiliate, so I make my money through Twitch. So, but anyway, back to Bayley. If she turned heel, her career took a shit. There's no reason why. She needed a whole rescan because it's just, in general, her model was just like a big robot. It was robotic. Her mouth never moved, and if it did, it was just the same facial expression like she was a sociopath. It was just utterly ridiculous. Immersive presentation. Look at Bobby Lashley compared to last year. He actually looks like Bobby Lashley. Chad Gable is Chad Gable. But the best thing about it is that the crowd, they don't look like cardboard cutouts anymore. But watch the combat system. A new 2K showcase, which obviously is going to fall around Rey Mysterio. Which we all figured as much. I'm going to actually just close that real quick. Why is that there? Go away. There we go. But it's going to go around the career of Rey Mysterio. You could tell because he's sitting in the same chair. My GM mode. Something that we haven't had since SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. That is something 2K has had a chip on their shoulder for the last decade. And I'm going to say why. Actually, not even a decade. The last 15 years. They cut this mode out 15 years ago, and for what? There was no reason for it. Because why? Well, SmackDown vs. Raw was made by THQ and Ukes. Those guys were making the games. And then after 2008, they completely wrote the mode off after 2010, I believe. Then 2011 came out. And that's when they started doing... Well, no, they did the Road to WrestleMania stuff, and then they did something totally different. They did a graphics engine reboot. Then after that, 2K offered a bigger contract to Vince. You know how Vince McMahon is. He loves money. Offered him a bigger contract for a better game product, so they picked it up. No, actually, they didn't. They changed the franchise to WWE 12 and went on forward with that. And WWE 13. And then 2K picked it up at 14 and says, yeah, THQ went bankrupt. They didn't know what else to do as far as, financial budgeting for the game. THQ went bankrupt completely. 2K picked up the slack. They did really well with 14. But then when the new consoles came out, which was the PS4 and the Xbox One, 2K15 came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360 first. But then, the new console came out, and then they made a version of it for that with better graphics that was using the brand new facial recognition software, which botched the whole thing. GM mode was brought up several times from 15 all the way up until 20, and they ignored all requests. And I think now after what happened with 2K20 and WWE, what was that game that came out last year in place of 21? 2K Battlegrounds. 2K Battlegrounds and 2K20, after the failures with that and the amount of money they lost with sales with that, it took a huge all over itself, and they're like, you know what? We better start listening to the fans. He needs to step his old ass down from leading the company. I don't think dude knows his ass from a hole in the ground these days. Right, I agree with you 100%. You got to take a handful of great talent and release them, only for AEW to say, come here, motherfucker, I'll pay you whatever you want. But you know what? AEW is a better place for anybody these days because you know what? If you have an idea, use it. They don't use scripts. They let these guys write their own freaking material and let them do what they want. Vince is like, oh, I'm going to give Charlotte Flair this title and keep on winning this one. She's going to tie her old man one day. She's going to beat him. Rah, 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 rah. Like, we'll bring back John Cena once a year to fight a current champion to get his ass beat again. That's all he ever does is so wrap his mind around the same freaking people. That is, exactly. All the talent he's released, gone to the shitter. But it's not just, 2K we can blame for all of these different modes being cut from the game. Vince has to sit at an executive table with these guys and discuss what's being put in, what's been taken out. Because they pushed the game. Their game usually always has an October-November release every year. They pushed it to March of 2022 to momentumize WrestleMania and push WrestleMania sales. Not just that, it's giving them the extra time to take out guys and women that have been released from the company and put in people that are coming in. So their new thing is they're going to try and basically keep the game up to date. So every time they patch the game, they're patching somebody out, patching somebody in. That's the idea that they have for this year to where it doesn't break things. But the best part of it is, if you look right here, look at that, guys. There's no more cartoon like superstars. Their models aren't their menu photo anymore. So when you're actually picking a wrestler, it's the actual picture of the person as a... That's what baffled me. They replaced the menu, like when you're picking your matches and when the game's loading in, it has your guy and then the person you're facing. It was just their model in the game. It wasn't an actual picture. They went back to basics with that. And that's what they needed to do. Yeah, you know what? AEW has that old school feel to it, right? And I agree with you 100% on that. 100%. They're bringing, all the good talent over there and letting them do what they need to do. Jim Ross, for example, was just recently diagnosed with skin cancer. And Tony Khan's like, you know what? Whatever we can do to help you, let us know. If it were Vince McMahon, if JR got diagnosed with skin cancer, oh, well, I still need you here. It sucks, but I need you here. He didn't do that to Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns had to be out with leukemia. But like Jim Ross, he was with that company for almost 25 years. Maybe 15, that could be off. For 20 years, he's worked for that man. And enough was enough. He kept dicking him around for years on end. But anyway, GM mode's back in, as well as the draft. So this is huge. This is huge news for the game. We have the draft, and then you got GM mode. But it's called My GM, so they did something with it, made it 20 times better. And there's Roman's model. I'm telling you, this is the best Roman Reigns I've seen since 2K14. 2K14, which was on PS3, Xbox 360. That is the best model I've seen since then. Because the other ones look straight up like as if like Roman was just had like a knife with peanut butter spread all over his face. He looked like the shrivel up monkey dick. It was just ridiculous. He looked utterly ridiculous. It didn't even look like him at all. And I felt like they really could have put a lot more effort into this facial recognition stuff that they do. But now I can kind of see they got all of this stuff up to where it needs to be. They have the skin tone good. They have the beard set right. They have his hair lined up good. His face has never looked better. I have no judgment whatsoever. It looks really good from the shirt. The shirt's not clipping. His gauntlet he's got the gold gauntlet. He's got the other one that's black. They're doing really good with that. They've done an excellent job revising my faction. So apparently now there's you can create a faction, like your own stable of guys. And, either be, these bad guys or be these good guys, whatever, heroes. They got the Thunderdome. I don't know if you guys saw that. If you go back just a little bit. They have the Thunderdome arena set right above MVP there, who looks a little bit messed up. There's Dominic Mysterio and Kevin Owens. So you can kind of see the little bit of confirmation of those guys there, but Mind Faction is loading up. The Lost Cause, Mike, I would agree with you 100% on Lost Cause. They've released too much good talent to a point where I feel like, give it 2 years, AEW, they ruined the Wyatt family, but, in the sense, Brody Lee died while he was at AEW from an infection he contracted while he was in WWE. So it wouldn't surprise me if a WWE doctor misdiagnosed him like they misdiagnosed CM Punk. Would not surprise me, but I'm liking how they have the Thunderdome here. That's freaking I love that. MVP, I think his model I think that's a prototype. It doesn't look all that great. Could have looked better. Dominic Mysterio looks okay. My Rise, I think that's My Rise is a new version of My Career Mode that they have. My Career Mode was the thing where they started when NXT came into the fold in 2K15. So they changed it from My Career to My Rise. It's got a whole new story element to it. They have a women's version, a man's mode, and then Classic Universe Mode. I mean, you can't have a 2K game without Universe Mode. Oh God, Triple H looks like a total. Creation Suite is all rebuilt, restructured. You have Striker, you have Technician, Powerhouse, High Flyer. So you have 4 categories. And you have the Cruiserweight section. That guy is way too fat to be a wrestler. So much more to go on with this. I think whoa, what did I just see there? I'm going to go back just a little bit because I didn't catch something here. Jump right into the action. Creation suite. So much more. Look at that. Roman Reigns' boot. That's another big thing. I'm big on small details. I'm sorry. But even Roman Reigns' boot is an updated model compared to those goofy little Timberland boots that he had for, God knows how long now. He had those from 2K15 going all the way. It was just utterly ridiculous. They were just, it was unrealistic. Just posted my link out there real quick. But that was it's just a small detail. AEW has been much better since they brought CM Punk, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, Sting, Christian. WWE even fired John Morrison and didn't even do the rivalry with The Miz. John Morrison, I think, has been a lost cause since 2010. After he left WWE, went straight to Lucha Underground, and then from there his career was like on the indie scene for 8 years. Came back, had a little bits here and there, got released again, then got rehired again. So there's just a matter of time before he winds up actually just picks a place and goes. Hey, Manny the Mammoth, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the live stream. What's up, George? What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. But even like I said, they got the texturing looks great. Drew McIntyre, that is the best. Look at that. It looks like Drew freaking McIntyre. Not to mention Roman Reigns now is being hated even more to the point where I don't want to watch the show. Roman can't be any more hated than he already is. Than he was. Sorry. He was already hated long before all that other bullshit came about. He was hated for being the guy. But Drew McIntyre is him and Edge's model impressive. Goldberg, look at that. They actually got Goldberg's Trons right in the back. It's not a freaking weird cartoon like it was out of a comic book. It's the actual Goldberg screen. They got it right. And if you got I'm going to unmute this for a minute. Actually, no, I'm not. But if you guys watch the video, I actually have it linked in my Discord. If you go down to my Discord, there's an upcoming games to come category in my Discord, WWE 2K22. You look under that tab, there is a link to a video that is the hit trailer. The pyro, which is the firework technetics in the game, actually sound like the pyro on TV. As a matter of fact, I will do that for you guys. I'll pull it up. It's part of the stream. We're discussing the game. It's only fitting I pull it up. Here we go. My bad.
Just a mirage from Kofi Kingston. Who could forget the incredible comeback story of Edge? Every move from Lashley is just thunderous.
A universe populated by monsters, giants, and larger-than-life beings, I was determined to find my own path to the top of the mountain in sports entertainment.
But that's pretty much the rundown. Like the audio has been incredibly. All of the WWE characters sound like they come from vending machines. We could all agree on that. They look really cheap and just utterly just sad. I can't really say much, given the fact I've been watching WWE since I was 10 years old, maybe a little bit, okay, maybe 8 years old. But it's beside the point. WWE will not change as long as Vince McMahon is sitting in that chair. We all know this. So, the fact of the matter is the game, I'm giving this game right now, just simply looking at it, straight 10 out of 10. Because they listened, they stopped, they listened, they went back, they revisited their mistakes, and they fixed them. Now, when I give the game an actual rating when it comes out, and I basically played it and gone through it, and I can kind of see, okay, the trailer told the truth, and that this was true, stuff was changed. Okay, now the game has gone somewhere, and it's going to make me love WWE games again. Now, I can say, for now, that's my standing on the game, is that it's going to change how the games are. It's going to make me play them more. It's going to keep me coming back to play the games. But I'm getting it off my PC for the night. All right, Ryan, have a good night, brother. We'll see you. Thanks for stopping in. But that's pretty much the rundown of the game, graphically and statistically, and with the fluidity of it, it looks what it needs to be. So I'm not even going to repeat myself with that. Now it's just a matter of playing it for, yourselves and myself to see whether or not the trailer matches the product. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Does the trailer match what's the word? The product. There you go. Does the trailer match the product? Or was the trailer just a bunch of hype for you to play another game that's a bunch of sweaty ragdolls? That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Me and Mike know so much about WWE, we could sit here and entertain you guys for 14 hours a day, 5 days out of the week with it. Me and him did a podcast a few months back, sometime early this year, where we kind of went through the whole rundown of how WWE has completely taken a enormous shit on its own talent. That's somewhere on the channel. You guys can take a look at that. But at the end of the day, it's WWE. Like I said, it will not change until Vince is no longer sitting in that chair. Now, with Triple H, possibly being permanently out of the ring due to a heart condition and being placed in, desk duty once he's back and ready to go, maybe we're going to see a change in direction, change in storyline, change in scripts, change of dialogue, change of, who stays and who goes. I mean, you got guys like Samoa Joe who are back on NXT because they couldn't find a good story for him to fit in on a main roster. I mean, Adam Cole sat on that roster for 5 years and got nowhere. But then again, he didn't want to leave NXT because that's only where anything good came about. Why? Triple H was writing the material. It didn't come off of Vince's desk. It came off of Triple H's desk. I'm itching to do a part 2 as well, Mike. When I get some time together, I will definitely hit you up and we will do that. I'm going to say it. I'm a Drew McIntyre fan. There's nothing wrong with that. I love Drew McIntyre. I love what they do with his character. I cannot agree more. He went from this small little twiggy, scrawny dude in 2011, who was Intercontinental Championship material, came back, got a new attitude after being fired, and became WWE Champion material, whole new build, bigger, meaner, more intense, more aggressive. That's what he needed to do, was change. That's all that was needed. He just needed a big change. It's all he needed. And he got it. And now look at him. He's one of the top stars in WWE today, who's at the top line, WWE and Universal Championship material. That's how it is. And now NXT 2.0 BS for starters. Well, we can't really call it BS. It's because it's not Triple H's fault. He's out right now. Shawn Michaels is pretty much holding the reins right now. Shawn is not used to managing, $1 million operation. So he has to basically come up with stuff on his own, but they're trying. NXT is the only thing that's keeping WWE Raw and SmackDown afloat is NXT. That's the only thing that's keeping WWE on the high rise and keeping, pockets full. There are more fans that are WWE fans that show up to NXT events than they show up for SmackDown and Raw. Do the math statistically, and you will see there are more NXT fans than Raw and SmackDown put together. Plain and simple. That's all that is. So, sum this all together. 2K got a wake-up call when 2K20 and 2K Battlegrounds failed. They didn't make any money. Both games went on sale more than any WWE game on record. From the SmackDown games on PS1 to SmackDown vs. Raw. SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Going all the way up. Wait a minute. How could Vince be running a show that he didn't... Vince took no part in NXT to begin with. Triple H started NXT. He is the founding creator of that show. Maybe I'm missing something there, but, he can't touch something that he has no part of. It's partnered with WWE, otherwise they'd be a separate franchise. But that's the way it is because, he's married to Vince's daughter. Your brand you got to partner with me. That's how Vince is. He's a greedy freaking old fart. That's all he is. And no one will ever take exception to that. They're always going to be kissing his ass. You got these huge... you got some fans that show up to almost every show. You got this one guy who sits in the front row every show with a red baseball cap and a freaking white or blue mechanic shirt who's there almost every Monday, every Friday, every Tuesday. No matter. He's always there. NXT 2010 Triple H was still a full-time wrestler. Yeah, he was still a full-time wrestler, but he was the founding and creator of NXT, and he made sure he told Vince that, any sort of ideas get run through him and him alone. So Vince had no part in NXT. Vince took exception to that. He wasn't happy about it, but he did offer partnership, which Triple H obviously accepted. Why? It's a family-owned business. It's always going to be that. Now, Triple H has been out with a heart issue. He had a heart surgery a couple months ago from a heart defect that he was born with that didn't really start taking hold until sometime this year. I guess during an NXT show, he collapsed backstage and he had to have open heart surgery. So, if anything about Vince running it, it's temporary, and he's probably just there to help Shawn Michaels because Shawn doesn't know shit from the neck of the woods. Hey, Billy, what's going on, buddy? But that's the rundown of it. WWE has to step up their game, not just with their material on TV, but their video games. AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, they're all partnered together. It's a three-way circle. They're going to crush these guys. And that's how it's going to come out. That's why they had to step up their game with video game sales, ticket sales, revenue, ad revenue, everything. Because at the end of the day, they're still a business. And you gotta do it. You gotta do what you need to do for your business to survive. And that's really not much to say about it. The game looks fantastic and it needs to stay that way. That's just from a trailer standpoint. When we have the final product, then we'll judge on whether or not, okay, the trailer lied. The trailer was just some fancy show. But I guess we'll find out in March. And I guess when we see more in January, then I guess we'll really see what direction they decided to go with everything.
You can't make.
Anyway, that's my forte and take on this entire thing. That's pretty much where I've been, guys. I've pretty much been on Twitch. That's where I pretty much run my business now as far as streaming goes. You can find all of my stuff on there. I could post my Twitch link in the chat for you guys. Here you go. That is my Twitch TV link for any of you who would like to come check me out on Twitch. Hit that follow button. Be greatly appreciated. But that's where you're going to see all my streams from going forward. I will upload minimal material to YouTube just to keep the channel somewhat fresh and healthy. But like I said, I'm making I make my money on Twitch now. I became affiliate about 2 days ago. So that's pretty much where I've been. I haven't been hiding. I didn't quit streaming. I've just been doing my thing someplace else where I've met incredible people, a very, very wonderful community of people. Not saying I didn't meet the same community here on YouTube. I did. I met a whole lot of you wonderful people here on YouTube, but I've met plenty of more on Twitch. And I'm just trying to evolve the channel the best that I possibly can with the resources that I have. And I hope you guys will follow me along on that journey as well. I look forward to all of the upcoming streams and everything ahead. My Twitch schedule is in my Discord. If you go into my Discord under Twitch stream, I think it's under my Twitch category. I have everything by category in my Discord. So if you go to my Twitch TV section, at least I believe that's where it is. Yeah, Twitch TV. No, sorry. It's under my Revelation Studio link. So, Revelation... Where the heck is it? Revelation Studio. Under Revelation Studio, you'll look under stream schedule. There's a link to my schedule on Twitch. It's all there for you guys to see. You can all see that there. But so far, 2K22 is delivering and showing us that they've been paying attention. They've been listening. They obviously see where they messed up, and they're trying to make up for it. Maybe they're going to give us this huge roster of superstars that where we can make the dream matches we've been wanting to make and everything else behind all of that. We can do all of that in the comfort of our own home. And, who knows? The Creation Suite could probably take us to another level, creating different arenas and shows and all that. The stuff we were able to do before that we weren't able to do with previous games because of the limitations that they gave us. They gave us too much limitations and not enough wiggle room to do the things we want to do and create the things we want to. I know Mike's a big creator. When we had the old WWE 2K games, he was a big, superstar creator. That's what Mike does. That's his thing. That's his forte. He creates wrestlers. He loves doing that. I had to add mushroom hair Eddie Guerrero. You talking about the last the last Eddie Guerrero that from his last days. I wouldn't say just that Eddie Guerrero in general. I would say not just the hair. Get his tights to where they had the Latino heat, like the flames, or the flames with like the cross with the bloody tip on the cross, like something like that. They've used the same Eddie Guerrero attire for so long. You know, he had so many different attires over the years. In my opinion, if you're going to make the creation suite, they should add all the tights for every wrestler from over the years that each wrestler has worn over the years. Every piece of tights, whether they're Randy Orton's or Rey Mysterio's, all the different tight designs. That's what should be in the creation suite. That's what's going to give us the sandbox. We'll call it a sandbox, okay? That's what's going to give us the sandbox to do what we want to do with the game, which is all the creation and all the mobility and all of the room we need to make it our game. We pay the money for this kind of stuff. You know, it's not like if we're requesting something for them to put in the game, we're not going to be paying for the product in general. We're making a request to get it done. With Rey Mysterio Showcase, we should see more Eddie Guerrero attires. You know what? I didn't think about that, David. That is a very valid point. And I think that's the direction they're going to take. They got to take a bigger direction and a bigger approach to everything moving forward. And that's, you know, they got to do a wake-up call. Maybe let this vendetta go about this Chris Benoit thing and put Chris Benoit back in the game. Obviously, there's been several different doctors and different, you know, forensic analyses that have been made that determined Chris Benoit had a head injury that pushed him to do the things that he did. He was never a bad guy. He had so many head injuries, it caused him to snap. That's all it was. He's not, you know, a raging lunatic. That's why they banned that diving headbutt that Daniel Bryan was using. You know, he got injured doing the exact same thing. So don't be surprised if we wind up seeing Bree and, you know, his kids wind up getting whacked someday because, you know, he was doing that headbutt, the air goat, for so long. You know, that's something that they barred for a reason. I mean, I'd rather them ban the diving headbutt than the stomp. Because the stomp, you can control how your head bounces off the mat. Or how your head bounces. Yeah, exactly. Let go of that vendetta. Chris Benoit's not a bad guy. But cutting him completely from history is wrong. You know, but then again, how are you going to get his face put into the game? He's been dead since 2007. There's nothing really much you could do about that. I mean, then again, they put Andre the Giant in the game for several years, and they managed to get his face looking pretty damn good. And they're playing an ad over here. I got to go back. I can't go back. Go back to my link. There we go. But it's really not hard, 2K. Get it right. I don't know who they're working with now, but I think 2K's partnered with Visual Concepts. So Visual Concepts helps them with the body models. Gets them going with everything. So I think Visual Concepts is kind of, you know, got the rundown from 2K saying, hey, you know, we got to step it up. You know, we we screwed up these last couple of years, and we need to bring back the brand that makes us money and makes, you know, Vince money, because, you know, last couple of years we didn't do too good with that. Like, Vince needs any more money in his pocket. But things to make it better, more attire options in the creation suite. Chris Benoit. And another thing they need to stop doing. They need to stop. And I can't emphasize this enough. Stop making duplicate models for one character. For example, if you got Triple H from 2001, they should make that as an alternate attire for just the regular Triple H that's in the game. Because you're using that extra slot for that 2001 version of a 2001 model that you could use for a slot for something or somebody else. Enough with the, you know, making them a separate model. You could put them as an alternate version for one model instead of taking up a model spot. It makes so much more sense that way. It's common sense. There really isn't anything more you can say on the subject. Save space for DLC. Save space for competitors that are going to matter. With all that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Make sure you drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new for more content just like this. Like, subscribe, favorite, all of that good jazz. If you haven't already, check out my Twitch link that's been posted in the chat there. I will leave that in the description as well. Check out all the channels down that I'm affiliated with Rye Wilson, Cage Freedom, Ace Pilot 2K7, Black Lake District, AK19 Toru, The Gaming Bros, Timmy017 Gaming, Braddersby Horseman Gaming, Billy Gaming, Billy Love Gaming, sorry. Green Goddess Gaming, Roan Plays Games, C1 Gaming, that's our brother Corey and Roan, Country Boy Gaming 1334. Check out all those links down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out, and we will see y'all in the next one. Have a good night, everybody.
When I fall asleep, yeah, I don't wanna wake up. See you in my dreams, in my mind is so made up. Cause I live this fantasy, you know. And I'm never glad to see you go. Yeah, I just need to spend one more minute with you. I can't sleep forever, tell me what I'm meant to do. If it's just a karma, hopefully she leaving soon. Cause I can take no more, yeah, I'm sick of feeling you. She's like roses without petals, only ever see her in my mental. She's like roses without petals, only ever see her in my mental. Yeah, I need space to breathe, but you're the only space I need. So I just need to get some sleep, and hopefully you're waiting there.